Welcome back to Sunless Truth, where we uncover the psychology of power that most people are never taught. Let us get into it.
Most people spend their entire lives wondering why they are not respected. They work harder te gibimori. They bend over backwards trying to be liked. And the harder they try, the less people seem to value them. But there is one person in every room who does none of that. They do not chase approval. They do not over-explain. They do not shrink themselves to make others comfortable. And somehow, without saying much at all, everyone treats them differently. With caution, with attention, with respect. That shift does not happen by accident. It happens because of one decision, a decision Niccolò Machiavelli wrote about over 500 years ago. And today, we are going to break it down completely. In 1513, Niccolò Machiavelli wrote The Prince. It was not a book about being a good person. It was a book about how power actually works. Machiavelli watched kings rise and fall. He studied why some men commanded absolute loyalty and others were ignored, manipulated, and eventually destroyed. And he found a pattern. The people who were treated with the most respect were not the nicest. They were not the loudest. They were not the most talented. They were the ones who had mastered one specific behavior. They had stopped being available to everyone. They had stopped explaining themselves. They had stopped performing for approval. In short, they had become unknowable. And the moment someone becomes unknowable, the human brain does something automatic. It assigns them value. Today we are looking at 5 things, Machiavelli said, you must do once, and watch how everything changes. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why people treat you the way they do right now, and exactly what to change. Stop explaining your decision. Imagine you change your plans. Cancel something. Say no to an invitation. What do you do next? Most people immediately follow it up with reasons. Sorry, I have work. Sorry, I'm not feeling well. Sorry, I have this thing. The apology comes before anyone even asks for one. And here's what that communicates. It says, I need your approval to feel okay about my own decision. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince that a leader who constantly justifies himself signals that he is unsure of his own authority, and people sense that insecurity. Instantly, your brain is wired to read status through behavior, not words. When someone acts like they owe you an explanation for every move they make, your subconscious registers them as low status. Not because they are weak, but because they are behaving like someone who needs permission to exist. The shift is simple. Make your decision. State it plainly. Stop there. No apology. No story. No reason unless you choose to give one. Watch what happens. People stop questioning you because you stopped inviting the questions. The key sign, you are doing this wrong. You say sorry before anyone has complained. Let silence speak for you. You are in a conversation and someone says something that deserves a response. Maybe they challenge you. Maybe they accuse you of something. Maybe they make a comment designed to get a reaction. What does everyone else do? They react immediately. They defend, explain, argue, or worse. They go quiet in a way that clearly shows they are hurt. Machiavelli understood something about silence that most people never learn. Silence does not mean weakness. Silence means you are not threatened, and the person who is not threatened controls the room. When you respond to every provocation, every test, every petty comment, you are telling people that they have the power to move you. And once they know they can move you, they will keep pushing to see how far you go. Your nervous system is designed to fill silence. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like something is broken. But that discomfort is always felt more by the other person when they realize their words landed nowhere. Machiavelli wrote that the prince who reacts to every insult invites more insults. The one who does not react forces others to question whether they even registered. Do this once in a conversation where you would normally defend yourself. Say nothing. Hold eye contact. Let them sit in it. The key sign you need this. You feel a physical urge to explain yourself the moment someone looks at you with doubt. Become selectively unavailable. You respond to every message within minutes. You rearrange your schedule when people ask. You make yourself easy to reach, easy to cancel on, and easy to take for granted. And you wonder why people treat you like an option. Machiavelli wrote that men value most what they must work for. What is freely given is rarely appreciated. What requires effort becomes precious. This is not cruelty. This is psychology. When you are always available, people stop seeing your time as valuable. Your presence becomes background noise. But the moment your time becomes something that has to be earned, something shifts. Suddenly, people pay more attention when you do show up. They remember what you said. They treat the time you give them as significant. Your brain releases dopamine not just when you receive something you want, but in anticipation of receiving it. Selective unavailability creates that anticipation. You are not playing games. You are simply valuing your own time enough that others start to as well. Try it on. Take 2 hours longer to respond than you normally would. Do not explain why. Watch the shift. The key sign you need this. People cancel on you without guilt because they know you will always reschedule around them. Stop seeking validation through your reactions. Someone compliments you. You immediately deflect. Oh, it was nothing. Anyone could have done it. I got lucky. Someone criticizes you. You immediately shrink. Apologize. Agree with them even when you do not. Both of these reactions do the same thing. They tell the room that you do not believe in your own value. And the moment you communicate that, people start to agree with you. Machiavelli observed that people do not form their opinion of you from what you tell them about yourself. They form it from watching how you respond when you are tested. Do you fold under pressure? Do you need their praise to stand up straight? Do you collapse when they withhold approval? These small moments are where your status is decided, not in what you say and how you carry yourself when the pressure hits. Your brain is constantly running social calculations. Every interaction is a data point. When someone sees you deflect a compliment nervously, they register it. When someone sees you accept praise calmly and move on, they register that too. The version of you that does not need external confirmation to feel okay is the version that commands respect without asking for it. The next time someone compliments you, say thank you and nothing else. The next time someone criticizes you, consider it and respond with calm, not collapse. Do it once. Watch how the energy shifts. The key sign you need this. You feel more comfortable criticizing yourself in front of others than you do accepting that you did something well. Let people come to their own conclusions about you. You meet someone new. Within minutes, you are explaining who you are, your job, your background, your intentions, your values. You want them to understand you correctly before they have a chance to misread you. But Machiavelli wrote something in The Prince that most people never consider. He wrote that mystery is a form of power. The man who reveals everything gives others nothing to wonder about, and people are drawn toward what they do not fully understand. Your brain is a pattern recognition machine. When something is familiar and completely explained, it files it away and stops paying attention. But when something is partially known, when there are gaps, your brain stays alert. It keeps thinking. It keeps returning to fill in what it does not know. This is why the most respected, most magnetic people in any room are never the ones talking the most about themselves. They speak with intention. They share selectively. They leave things unsaid, and people lean in trying to figure them out. You do not have to be mysterious in a dramatic way. You just have to stop volunteering everything. When someone asks what you do, answer simply and ask about them instead. When someone tries to figure out your opinion, give them something to think about rather than a complete explanation. Let there be questions they cannot fully answer about you. That small gap is where respect lives. The key sign you need this. You feel anxious unless the people around you fully understand your intentions and motivations. Now you see what Machiavelli saw 500 years ago. People do not treat you based on how good you are. They treat you based on how you carry yourself. Stop explaining your decisions to people who did not ask. Use silence instead of defense when you are tested. Make your time something that has to be earned, not something that is always freely given. Stop collapsing under criticism and deflecting compliments. Let your presence carry mystery instead of performing for understanding. None of this requires you to become cold. None of this requires you to manipulate anyone. It simply requires you to stop giving away the signals that tell people you do not value yourself. Because here is the truth. Machiavelli never softened. People will treat you exactly as well as you teach them to. Do these 5 things once and then watch. Not what people say about you. Watch how they behave around you. That is where the real answer is. Machiavelli did not write The Prince to make people cruel. He wrote it to make people clear. Clear about human nature. Clear about power. Clear about why most people live their entire lives being treated as less than they deserve. Now you have that clarity. We have more coming on psychological power, dark influence, and the silent rules that decide how the world treats you. You are not alone in wanting to understand this, and now you're one step closer to never being played again.